This household tax, and the fight against it particularly, is a fight for fair play, and it's a fight for a change from the disastrous policies that this new government of Fine Gael and Labour have continued directly from Fianna Fáil and the Greens before them. But of course we know that this is just the beginning, the very thin end of a wedge that will grow wider and wider. So the game plan is to put a burden of well over €1,000, an entirely new burden, on the shoulders of working people, the pensioners and the unemployed in our society. And of course, it is not a property tax. It will not become a property tax. It is a home tax. It is a tax on the asset that everybody needs simply to survive and to have some kind of a dignified life. Nobody makes money from their home, on the contrary. It costs us money to keep. Talk to the young people trying to pay mortgages at the present time. Talk to those who are in the trap of negative equity and tell them that their home is somehow the source of money that the government wants to put its hands on. They say we must do this because we don't want to put any more taxes on work. Well, who will pay the home tax? The fairies? Hardly. The same workers, the same pensioners, the same unemployed people who are called upon to pay everything. And this household tax is another crucial step in that austerity programme. And the opposition to it is not just saying we cannot afford it, we cannot afford another burden of €1,000, but our opposition to it is a demand that the disastrous policy of slash and burn is changed, is ended, and a new policy to develop and grow our society is developed instead. But this is the point about the household tax. Yes, we have a choice. They want 1,800,000 households to register for this tax by March the 31st. That is 4.5 million people. They want 1.6 million households to pay from that. That is 3.5 to 4 million people. We have a choice in this regard. They stole the universal social charge. They stole the VAT increase. They stole everything. You had no choice. Here you have a choice. That this is a tax too far, and here the ordinary people of this state are going to take a stand. A mass boycott of the registration and the payment of this tax can derail their tax and force them to change policy. It can paralyse their plans. And that also, saving our people this extra burden, will be a demand for a change to the austerity disaster. So mass non-registration is absolutely critical. Yes, after March the 31st, the councils can single out householders and bring them to the district courts. But we must repeat and will repeat what happened during the water battle. The people will not go alone. They will go with their neighbours. They will go with their families. They will go with the campaign. They will pack the courtrooms. They will leave the judges and the local politicians in no doubt that people are not going to be terrified and are going to stand up and fight. And in the very first cases, again like we did in the water battle, we will have barristers look at this new legislation. We will examine their legal arguments. If necessary, we will send heavyweight barristers into the first court cases to fight them every step of the way. However, we ordinary people do not get justice in the courts as a matter of course. Ordinary people, in fact, cannot afford to get justice in the courts. That is the privilege of the rich. Where we will get justice is in the utilisation of our own people power and forcing a change of policy on the political establishment in this country. But we will clog up the courts. They cannot put hundreds of thousands of our people through this process. March the 31st, they have set as the government deadline for registration for this tax. We have to say the following. If people, our neighbours, our family, or some people are anxious, even very anxious, tell them, hold on, why would you rush out and pay? You don't have to pay in any case, or you don't have to register in any case until March the 31st. You shouldn't register anyway, but hold on. Let's arrive at St. Patrick's Day, March the 17th, 2 weeks before their deadline, and let us have already registered hundreds of thousands, maybe 500,000 households, maybe 700,000. What if 1 million households would not register by March the 17th? That is the answer that we must give them. By boycotting this registration, this is our referendum on the betrayals of these parties in the last 12 months. This is a new general election for us by March the 31st, that we have registered with our non-registration and our non-payment a massive vote of no confidence in the betrayals of these parties in government. And that is entirely possible.